controversial, and we breaking the virtues. Now that we in the game, we in every commercial. Magazine, radio, we stay interviewing. Might hit up Wendy Williams just to ask her, how you doing? I wake up every morning, my face in every blog. Freaky boys, t-shirts, every catalog. They try to bring us down, but we say fuck the press. And all these weak rappers time to take a fucking rest. I'm finna sock it too.
Welcome to another episode of Opinionated. This is season 2, episode 4. I'm Louis Jones.
I'm Mark Hayes.
And what's poppin'? I'm Michael Devon LeBlanc. You know who it is. Your favorite actor, your favorite comedian, your favorite... Oh, TT said I kind of look like a model today, so I guess I'm doing all right.
All right,
Kinda.
there we go. There we go.
Kind of.
Okay, so we're going to start off. What did you do this weekend, Mark?
Man, you know, rent is like just came up, so you know, your boy just hustled, you know. Worked on some, just keep working, you know, working, you know.
Working.
Man, I got a new single coming out. I don't know what date yet, but it's within the next 2 weeks.
I'm gonna treat you like I treat all the
Where's the video? It's coming.
The album?
Y'all need to enjoy the music first, and then
Where's the album?
we'll get more shit. I can't just give it all to y'all at one time. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta enjoy the shit, and I'm a Nicki Minaj the situation.
Are we getting the 8 on that single album like everybody else going out?
We'll see.
Or we getting like 13, 15 tracks?
Yeah, 72 tracks now.
Okay, come on, Drake. You know, he been throwing an album out every 30 days.
Hey, what y'all think about that Drake album?
That shit is average as fuck.
It's the same type of album. It's just the album is like it's no artistic growth for me. Like that's how.
Yeah, I like when I did listen to it first, I was like, man, this is cool. And I was like, I guess it is. It's okay because it's only like 9 songs I really go and listen to.
Yeah.
But it's
out
like
of 25.
That's the thing is out of 25. If it was 10 songs, it'd be different.
Yeah.
You know, but
I judge the album based on how many songs I'm gonna come back to in a couple months when it's like died down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only like 2 or 3 songs that I think I'll still be listening to in November. You know what I'm saying?
So quick question.
Like,
all right, a lot of good music came out this year.
Hold on, I couldn't even fall into the Mariah sample of the song, so I know the album ain't good to me. I couldn't even fall into that song with Mariah on. I didn't go back to the original.
Which one the one with Mariah on it?
Emotionalist.
Emotional. Oh, that's the one you like. I'm trying to hide the world from my kid and all that line and shit.
Yeah, I guess.
Not trying to hide the. I forgot what the fuck he said. But anyway, everybody, it's all over the internet.
And the world from my kid keeps saying it.
But my question is, a lot of good music came out. Nas' album got slept on, but that happened. Kanye, the Carters, Drake.
Jermaine.
I was about to get that J. Cole. Kendrick probably gonna pop out of nowhere with something.
Well, I don't think too many people slept on J. Cole album. I think
No, nobody slept on J. Cole.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like
Cole
I said
Grammy, sir.
we slept on Nas' album.
Yeah. Cole getting that Grammy.
You know
sir.
what's
'Cause it
so
came
crazy
out.
though?
Huh?
You know what's so crazy
Tiana
about that?
Taylor.
Like
Cole getting that Grammy.
his competition, and don't fight me, but this is what I do. This is my area.
His
Is it really, nigga? This nigga got all the areas. He just
This
got
is
all
my-
the areas.
I'm a professional in this.
Everything, nigga.
But I've been doing Grammy predictions. I've been doing research and like I've been doing all of that for years. Cardi B is his competition. And let me tell you why.
Oh yeah, Cardi B got 2 number
competition.
We're not
ones
giving
right
Cardi a
now.
Grammy. She's way too ratchet. The white folks
No.
are not giving Cardi.
But they know
Yeah.
her music.
They wouldn't let
know her
Marshawn
music.
Lynch
They
win the
not
Super
giving.
Bowl.
They know
They
her
not
music.
giving Cardi a Grammy.
Listen, I'm with you. But
I'm just saying. They're not doing
they know her music. When Barbara Streisand know Bodak Yellow,
That's cool.
them the ones that's vote for you. That's voting for you.
The white folks are not giving Cardi no
That was
Grammy.
I was like I just said like
She would have got Best New Artist had she waited like I told her to.
if she waited like you told her to.
Because basically, when
You told her you sent the text.
I did. I know. Listen. Laugh now, cry later. The thing about it is that when Bodak Yellow came out last June, that was a massive single. So at that time, they felt like, oh, let's submit her for Best New Artist when it was already major Best New Artist already out. So I was basically saying, no, wait, because I wanted her to have a full year to just have consistent music, of just slaying and just dropping great music, and then she can submit for Best New Artist. So like, as she came out this year, Cardi B is literally the biggest artist out right now.
She really is.
So she would have got the Grammy this year, so she already submitted, which forfeited her from ever submitting again. So that's why I'm like, she should have just honestly waited, because she been having a great consistent year. 2
She's
number
still getting
ones.
paid.
She got the most number ones than any female artist ever. Like she
Yeah, she
out
breaking
here
records.
breaking records.
Yeah, I just found out like 2 weeks ago that she not black. It's like crickets? Crickets on that one?
I don't give a
Did y'all know she
I don't give a
was
fuck what color she is.
We've been determined that she wasn't African like that.
I didn't know.
Even she said like in all her videos.
I mean, like, am I really following Cardi B? No. I only reason I see Cardi B because she's doing amazing things.
Man,
and
get on the single.
She
Get on the single.
She pops up on my feed. That's what I'm trying to write for Cardi B and Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? Holla at me. You know what I'm saying? Right. Once I write a hit for Beyonce, my life will change.
You listen to J-Rock's album?
Who? I haven't listened to J-Rock album. This is dope.
Yeah,
I'm gonna check that out too. Have you listened to Nas album?
I have.
Okay, cool. I feel like a lot of people slept on it.
The only album, but well, I'm not gonna say
Tiana Taylor. What you think about that one?
I'm just now getting into it now. Like I'm just giving it a full listen. I'm gonna listen to it like on the road tonight.
Like short albums, man. I love it.
23 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into these questions for tonight. We have a lot to talk about. We're going to start off with Harvey Weinstein, who has been indicted on more charges in New York, including additional counts of criminal sexual act and 2 counts of predatory sexual assault. What is your opinion on the topic? Whoever want to start, go.
I gotta say something. It's interesting. Like Harvey Weinstein, man. That's crazy. It's accusation after accusation. It's like so many different stories, and it's like it's getting to the point where it's hard to keep up anymore. First, I was like, I wanted to be more empathetic for the victims, and then I was like, well, the victims kind of put themselves in a situation. I was kind of all over with it, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, because like a lot of the situations where like he's like do this and you get this and that happened, but some situations, some women say he did force himself onto them. Now he's facing possibility of getting life in prison. And what tripped me out,
20 more years, probably 15.
What tripped me out about that, is that there's officers murdering black people and getting paid to leave, but Harvey Weinstein gets life in prison because,
And I fuck with white women.
You know what I'm saying? You fuck with white women, bro. You will go to jail.
It wasn't only just white women, but
it wasn't just white women, but it was a lot of white women. It was some black women. I think Gabrielle Union was one of them, wasn't she?
Really?
No, was she not?
She was not.
But she knew about it. I remember her speaking on it.
She had a previous sexual assault when she was working at Payless as a teenager.
Okay.
So she can relate.
How do you know that?
She put it out there. She was talking about it with the whole...
I told you I know a lot of these my areas. I told you.
The dude that shot the movie about Nat Turner.
Nate Parker.
Yeah.
That
was a good movie,
like,
by the way.
Thing,
y'all need to see that.
Okay, let's go over to Mike. Let's go over to Mike.
Shit, my man's about to do that hard time.
That hard time, you do the crime.
And he about to get sexually assaulted by...
He about to get anally raped.
Yeah. What that mouth do, my guy. You made some really good movies. Let's see what that ass about.
I'm gonna get anally raped.
I mean, like, these are things that have gone on and are still going on in this industry. Like, just because my man's got caught, I mean, it's... You know what I'm saying?
Stopped.
And these actors have known about this for a minute. Like all of these like A-list actors that have worked under Harvey Weinstein, they either know about this or they participated in this shit. So ain't nobody really innocent. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody kind of got blood on their hands. And it is what it is. Hopefully, the fact that we're getting justice for this is going to open doors for like a day in which we don't have to deal with stupid shit like this.
And you already know somebody like 20 years from now going to get the same allegations. It just happens like that. Apparently, that's how Hollywood is right now.
Well, all I can say is that when I officially put my foot into the door of Hollywood, I'm keeping my hands to myself, and everybody else better keep their hands to themselves.
I told y'all niggas I'm getting married, bro.
I mean, you say that.
Terry Crews married, but we'll get into that topic a little bit later.
That's different, though.
But my whole thing about Harvey Weinstein is that it was so crazy because like I think he was the one who started the whole Me Too movement. Like he was the first one to be accused in this modern day era, and like that was the introduction to like Me Too. Like he assaulted a lot of women, and just from a psychological standpoint, it's just, for me, in my opinion, I just feel like he really damaged a lot of these artists. And a lot of times, like, we can look at it, it's not my viewpoint, but I do want to say that a lot of people do look at it as like these women or these individuals put they put themselves in these situations. I so don't agree with that. I mean, but then we live in Hollywood. We work in Hollywood in a sense, so we kind of know how things happen. Like people try to bait you and stuff like that. The thing about it is that he should have been a smart enough man to keep his hands to himself, or to at least try to get some form of consent. But
think about it, half of the chicks is coming forward probably voluntarily.
That's what I'm saying. It's
I don't want to victim blame.
This isn't victim blaming
I don't
at all.
want to victim blame.
This is not victim blaming at all.
This is big facts.
As somebody, this is all
He
facts.
should have been
As
smart
somebody
enough
that's
not
in
to
the industry,
engage.
as somebody that's in the industry who knows actors, who knows comedians, who knows people, who knows like starving artists who are dying to get that shot. I know a bunch of people that are willing to sell themselves and their bodies for an opportunity. And all of these people would act holier than thou one day, the moment they get a chance to be like, oh, he did so and so to me too. But you was down to do something strange.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like some people put themselves in that situation, so it's hard. It's hard to like, be emotionally invested.
It's
in
two sides to every story.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's just hard to emotionally invest in this because
Harvey Weinstein is a piece of shit.
Harvey Weinstein is a piece of shit. We got that down.
You know why I say victim? You know why I throw around victim blaming a lot on this show? I throw around victim blaming on the show a lot is because I want you to look at it from a standpoint of saying that yes, these starving artists who's willing to do whatever it takes to live their dream are willing to do this. But we have to also look at it from a standpoint of saying that this big producer or this big artist should not be taking advantage of these people and feeding off that hunger to make it. Like
human beings can't.
If you going now, I hope this never happens to you. I'm gonna say this first, but you all are artists. But if you walk into a casting room and you this is what you want to do, this is what you eat, breathe, sleep, want to do, live, and somebody tell you I need you to do this in order to make it.
It's probably gonna happen eventually.
You probably do, you probably don't. But the thing about it is that even though you made that decision, you still in a sense are a victim because you was baited. It's like you still a victim, and I feel like the person, these casting directors and these producers and these big shot people at the top, all these people with power should not be taking advantage of the little people at the bottom that's just trying to make it.
If you look at human beings historically, we do a really bad job managing power in general. I don't think that's really a concept.
That's what we need to focus on. That's what we need
I don't think it's possible. I don't think
it is
grasp it.
because we all are in a position of power in our own right.
And
we may not be
at that. And trust me, none of us really can grasp it and function properly.
But none of us are walking around taking advantage of people like,
Everybody takes advantage of somebody.
Okay, keep looking.
That's fact.
Any final thoughts on the topic?
That's fact.
Oh man, I mean, I said what all I had to say. I just feel like, Harvey Weinstein is a piece of shit, but at the same time, I would say final thoughts on this for me personally is I read a long time ago is never make a move when you're desperate. And I feel like that's what happened in a lot of situations with these actors and actresses. It's like you look at people, I mean, this is like a far left example, but Master P was offered $1 million by a record deal when he had $200 in his pocket. And then he turned it down because he knew his worth. And look at Master P now, So it's like, if you just look at examples like that, you won't have these type of situations. And also, there were said that he forced himself onto some of those victims as well. So, I mean, that's pretty fucked up as well. But it's like there's no evidence of it, so I can't just make a strong, argument for it. But I will say it is wrong how we abuse power, and I do agree with Mike that will be a problem for a long time. But eventually, we'll probably work through it. Probably not in our lifetime. Probably not in our kids' lifetime or our grandkids' lifetime, because that's how America was built, off of power-hungry people.
Okay, Mike.
Yeah.
I said what I gotta say, brother.
Okay. I want to say again, I'm not blaming the victims. I'm the people that are in power. Stop abusing your authority. Stop feeding off these hungry artists. Let these people live. If you're gonna help somebody, help somebody. If you're not, leave them at that. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's go to the next topic.
This shit feel like a TED talk today.
Yeah, if it got real,
it's gonna get better.
Someone said he deserved double life.
Double life.
Somebody else said he was consumed with power. He thought he had agency over their bodies. Consent be damned.
Yo, can we talk about like those sentences anyway, like double life? Like, how petty are you to give me more than like?
They do that.
Yeah, I know. Motherfuckers get like
if you die,
born again, I only have one life.
Yeah. Be born again, arrest them again.
You get reincarnated.
If somehow you live, nigga, through dying,
whoever get his organs, arrest them.
Yeah, that's just
anyway,
insane.
we're gonna go on to the next topic. Terry Crews discussed his sexual assault experience in public. Some asked, why didn't he fight back? Other artists such as 50 Cent, which you can all read on the screen, was mocking his sexual assault. Do you think that male victims of sexual assault are not taken as seriously? Why or why not? I'm gonna start off with Mike.
I mean, first of all, I like to salute the good brother Terry Crews, because what he's doing is showing a shitload of strength and power. I mean, to go to war with one of the biggest agencies in the world and your agency at that that's some ballsy shit. Yo, side note, did y'all know they told him that they'll keep him in the Expendables movie? You know the Expendables movie, like him, Sylvester Stallone, and like a bunch of. They said they'll keep him in it if he drops the charge.
Oh.
And he's sticking to his charge. So I really respect that brother. As for like, hindsight is 2020. Hindsight is 2020. So we can all sit here and be like, "Yo, my man should have did this. My man should have did that." But like in the heat of the moment, you know what I'm saying? Nobody really knows what. Like majority of people have never just had their dick grabbed by a motherfucking middle-aged white man. You know what I'm saying?
That's strange.
And you know Terry Crews being whatever he is, 6'6", 6'4", 280 pounds, or whatever he is. It's like one thing that he said when it first happened. He was like, "I'm a big ass black man. If I beat the shit out of this little white dude, they're gonna make me, no matter what it is that he did, they're gonna make me the bad guy." You know what I'm saying? So I think he handled it well. Yeah, I think he handled it well. As far as with 50 Cent, that shit was funny. But I love it.
Yeah.
So you thought 50 Cent comment was funny?
I'm a comedian.
I respect humor, but I respect the humor. Well,
like, it's funny. Like we got to get out of this dumbass fucking viewpoint where you can think something's funny without
everybody's super sensitive nowadays.
Lady Gaga and Diane Warren wrote an Oscar-nominated song. Till It Happens to You.
That's true.
It's a really great song. You don't know how I feel until it happens to you.
Terry Crews,
it was for sexual assault.
Terry Crews said, as a black man in America, you have very small chances of reaching his level of success. So that's one of the reasons why he didn't fight back. That's why he told the judge. And which, I feel him on that. You know what I'm saying? He's like, he got a lot on the line, and like he said, if he would have fought back, they would have definitely changed the narrative. Like, oh, Terry Crews, big black man, he's angry in the office. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they said he touched his penis, whatever. They probably leave that shit out. But as far as 50 Cent, I mean, people are insensitive about it because look at 50 Cent.
Like that's what he does. Like, he was a troll before trolling.
But if 50 Cent got his penis touched, he would obviously knock somebody out.
I'm sending him on the
50 Cent don't care.
And be in jail.
Yeah, because
get the strap.
You got 50 Cent comes from. That's where he comes from. He comes from a gangster ass background.
Until it happens to him.
Until it happens to him. But it's like,
but motherfuckers, like, people know who to try.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna do that.
That's not a slug at Terry Crews at all. But Terry Crews, while he looks like this big, like, aggressive motherfucker, he's an artist.
He's a friendly guy.
He's an artist. That nigga's like a painter, and he's like a brilliant painter.
Right.
But he's a true artist in a sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, and he's an intellectual. So, like, you don't never really just
But does that make it okay because he doesn't?
No. It doesn't make it okay at all. But I'm saying
is like
people know who to victimize and who not to victimize.
Yeah, they ain't gonna test 50 Cent.
The whole thing about it is I spoke openly about my sexual assault experience recently on the show.
You did.
And like I said, I beat up plenty of people in my day for all sorts of things. But
some hands.
But when I was sexually assaulted, I told you all then that I was shocked. Even when Pierre spoke about his scenario, Pierre didn't beat up all type of people in his day. When he said he was sexually assaulted, he was shocked. So until
he didn't beat him up though.
No, I'm talking about Pierre, and Pierre did not beat him up.
Pierre said he beat him up.
Stop it.
He didn't beat him up.
No, he didn't.
I get sexually assaulted every day at work.
For real?
You get
by women.
You get hit on.
No,
So
I get sexually assaulted.
They touch your penis?
No, they don't touch my dick, but they'll walk up to me and I've been wanting to do this all
But what if
night.
another man come and touch you?
It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter what. If
a man,
gender fluid,
if a
it
man
doesn't
comes
fucking
and
matter.
grab you,
If a
by
woman
the
does it,
balls.
if a man does it,
If a man comes and grab you by the balls, are you gonna be?
I'm probably gonna act off.
I'm gonna act like an angry
Okay,
black
so
man.
it's not the same. Hold on. It's not the same thing.
I actually have had somebody do that to me before.
For real?
I was at Dogwood in Houston. You know what I'm talking about? I was at Dogwood in Houston, and the drunk white boy grabbed my dick and my ass, and things got real, and I heard.
So how did it make you feel after that?
I was mad, but then I got over it.
You whooped his ass?
Huh? They listen.
So you
allegedly.
aggressively acted. So you aggressively acted.
Allegedly, you know, allegedly hands were
Right.
thrown.
So this is based off the scenario, we can just conclude it. But the thing, what I'm trying to get you to understand is because you said women do it all the time, and it's not really a big of a deal. So it's a big of a deal if it's not wanted.
Yeah.
I don't be wanting half of them bitches to grab me. I don't be wanting half of them bitches to grab me.
But if it's the heterosexual like assault, men are more likely to brush it off versus it being the same sex.
Yeah, facts.
Now, of course, Terry Hughes is a big buff guy, so a lot of people is all trying to throw themselves at him. Whatever, Cruz, whatever. We don't got time for that. But
got time to pronounce his name right, I feel
Cruz,
that.
right? Cruz, we don't. But Cruz is a big black guy. So the thing about it is, it's like I'm pretty sure he gets hit on all the time. The thing about it is that when this guy sexually assaulted him, it was a whole different experience. And that's
like
the
a
thing.
power
Me as a
move.
gay man was sexually assaulted by another male, and I felt uncomfortable. Meanwhile, I get sexually assaulted by women all the time too, but it's like.
But I think
know it's got the hose, brother.
It's got the hose.
But my thing is,
like women are more.
But this is
You know.
this is different in a sense of like this is not just Terry Crews being sexually assaulted. It's Terry Crews getting sexually assaulted by people who have his future in his hand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a different scenario as well. I haven't been sexually assaulted by a man. Thank God. But
I can't even front with you as an actor. If W and me came to me today and was like, "Yo, we want to sign you," I'd be like, "Okay." All right.
I'm saying people need that.
But the question is asked.
But after they touch your penis,
No.
would you still be with
There
them?
wouldn't be no penis touching.
Terry
crazy.
Crews said the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I would leave after the penis.
It's so crazy because male victims just we don't have the upper hand.
We don't have empathy
the
for
upper
male
hand.
victims because it's like, you know, men are just.
This is why male victims don't come forward. This is why
supposed
male
to be
victims don't talk about their
assertive.
experience because there's always people joking about a serious matter. The thing about it is that if you came to me today and said this something like this really affects me, I'm not gonna joke in your face. I'm not gonna do it. As a
You're a good
comedian,
man.
I'm not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? It's sometimes to crack jokes, then it's sometimes to be like, you know what?
Nigga,
I'm
nothing
just-
is off limits in comedy, nigga. It's art.
But it's
There's
not
absolutely
comedy.
nothing.
That's not
That's true.
comedy.
What are you
I saw
talking about?
somebody
You
who
can't
said
tell
school
somebody. First of all, art is subjective.
I
Comedy
laughed
is
at a
subjective.
joke about
So
school.
you
What
can't
I'm
tell.
saying,
Yeah.
what
It
I'm
was
saying is
hilarious,
that that's not. It's so
Nigga,
so
you know what I
much.
said? You know what I said on stage the other day?
thinking about it.
You know what I said on stage the other day?
Let's
And I don't believe this. I don't feel this
yeah.
way. I don't think this way on a regular basis. But I had a show like a month ago, and I said something was drier than transgender pussy, and everybody thought that shit was fucking hilarious.
But transgender pussy would be dry. wouldn't it?
Exactly.
Ugh.
And that's the point of the joke.
It's like, is that even that's just a fact at that
And
point.
if your feelings are hurt
You're
right
not,
now,
but I mean that's totally different. That joke is totally different than talking about something that's seriously
Just
affecting somebody's
comedy in
mental
general.
status.
comedy in general,
It's
no matter
so.
what it is.
What I want to say is that about comedy, because I can crack a few jokes too. I just ain't stood on stage and did it. I ain't stood on stage and did it. But what I'm saying is that
I need footage.
it's so much.
I need
I've been a roasting actor for
I need
27
footage.
years.
I need
I'm 28
footage.
years.
Lewis is
What
good at
I-
everything.
I-
I
you
don't
know
know
what
if
I'm
you
saying?
got this down,
Where
but Lewis
are
is
your
good.
weaknesses,
Lewis is
nigga?
good at everything. He can swim.
You know
he
what
can
I'm saying?
save. He can give birth to babies.
You feel me?
He's a
That nigga's a
midwife.
neurosurgeon.
That nigga is a Girl Scout.
That
Like,
nigga created the cure for
That
cancer.
nigga could build houses
That
with
nigga's
his
Magic
elbows.
Johnson, nigga.
With his elbow. He don't even need.
That nigga, he signed LeBron James.
No, but me, what I'm saying is that
He's a Hall of Fame football player.
I'll even dumb it down for you all. As a person who loves comedy, it's so much stuff that you can make a joke out of than to make a joke about something that is a serious effect to somebody.
Tony Baker made a
You
joke
can't
about
tell a
the
comic
DMV.
what they can or cannot make jokes about. I got a joke about
listen,
abortion.
I can
That's
tell
fucking
whoever I
hilarious.
want that's offensive.
Lewis
It's
can
offensive
tell
to me.
anybody
Now,
anything.
I don't know. Listen.
Well, you
listen,
have the
hold
right
on.
to be offended. You have the right to be offended. I have the right to not give a fuck.
Freedom of speech.
This is where I was going with that. Because I was going to say, with you knowing my experience with what I'm dealing with, and then for you to go on stage and be like, oh, my Lewis is soft because he didn't fight back, then that shows a lot about your character.
Steve Harvey has this quote where he talks about...
would you do that or would you not do that?
I'll talk about whatever the fuck I want on stage.
Honestly. Because if I come to you and talk about my sexual assault experience, and would you honestly go on stage and be like, my friend Lewis didn't fight back, yada yada.
I wouldn't use your name.
No, he wouldn't put you in the name. But he would definitely call you out. Yeah.
But that's because we have a relationship. Now, if I didn't know you and you were just some person that was on Instagram,
why would you have that thought rhetoric about somebody who's
you
going
must
through sexual assault?
You must understand that comedians make everything.
Comedians are about social commentary, so it's like
everything.
If sexual assault is what everybody's talking about, it's like
that's the beauty.
In closing, and from my perspective, I have to be mindful of the psyche. I have to be mindful of the mind. I have to be mindful about what I say that's going to affect people, because I don't want people to feel like, I don't want to make people feel like they can't come forward about certain things like this, because these things need to be spoken about.
You realize though, like,
so I'm out of that.
Right.
What you do from your perspective, I'm not gonna argue with you about what you're doing.
The art in stand-up, the true art in stand-up comedy is taking a fucked up situation and making it funny. And if you just joked about shit that was surface area and like,
I feel like
Tony Baker made a joke about
I feel like the joke that you said about
hilarious.
I feel like the joke that you said about transgender pussy was a good bad scenario that you made funny.
Right.
Boom. I feel like that you was on the money for that. Now you get all the stars. I'll give you a standing ovation for all of that.
Transgenders have pussies?
But when it comes,
they can make one, but they can't get wet.
Can't
get wet?
Do they do that?
That thing can't get wet without some lube.
You don't know that?
Huh? Speak.
No.
I don't know that for sure, but I just figured. I know
biology. No, he knows.
Shit can't get wet without a little lubrication.
That's something. It's like an artificial vagina at that point.
Okay, listen. We got a lot of topics tonight.
Listen,
we got a lot of topics tonight. So in closing, what are your thoughts on Terry Crews and sexual assault? In closing.
Transgender pussy.
Any closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts, man. I feel like we should be more sensitive to men being abused sexually. I mean, we should be able to open up to our brothers instead of shooting them down every time.
Salute to you and your strength,
you know what I'm saying? Because like if we all, act all hard all the time, we don't ever like open up to each other. That's what leads to like depression and blah blah blah. So it's like we should.
My main man Terry.
Yeah, we should be able to open up with each other. And Terry Crews is brave for coming forward with that, because I'm sure he's not the only one.
And if I saw something funny in your situation, I would joke about it, Terry. But I salute you for your strength.
Don't joke about none of my situation, because my situations be serious. I told you a situation that is serious.
Listen, nigga,
you listen to joke about everybody's situation but Lewis.
You never know.
Because I'm gonna come on stage and take the mic from you.
You never know, nigga. You never know.
But
he said he wants to say your name, so if you go take the mic from him,
you usually snub.
I don't know it's me. I don't know it's me.
You be telling on yourself.
Every other people get touched, Lewis. Let me say this. Let me say this though. Everybody I want to throw out this information, and this is really quick. It's basically that, are you all aware that men are more sensitive than women? Nigga, as a sensitive ass bitch, yes. Okay. I just want to throw that out there.
Because, but we are conditioned to be this macho person. Like you can't express. They tell us to express yourself. So when we deal with things on a deeper and a more depressive level than a woman.
That's because we have to keep it buried down.
Exactly. You can't even express yourself.
We gotta be hard.
So this is why
I'm a whole out here.
Yeah. And this is why I encourage all men. If you are dealing with sexual assault, please.
Or if you're dealing with anything.
Any form of
talk to somebody. Please don't be
quiet. I went to therapy this morning.
Don't let these white people touch you inappropriately. I'm not feel free. Or black people. Or Asians or Hispanics.
Don't disclude us, but let's move it right along. So, you have Justice Anthony Kennedy, a crucial swing vote, said he will officially retire on July 31st. Now, the fate of policy, such as abortion rights and gun laws, could be under a more conservative Supreme Court.
I don't think so.
It does.
I don't see how it does.
Let me tell you how it does matter. Because what people have what people have to understand is basically that you don't just have. People just think I'm just gonna vote for the presidency seat, but you also have other seats that leads up to the presidential seat. The thing about it is that you have to make sure you are knowledgeable about who running your local area, who's running your community. It does, because the thing about it is that we black people, in a sense, they do count more, because them the ones that we deal with on a regular, and we don't know anybody. We don't even contribute any votes.
Right.
So I need to look more into.
But what happens honestly is that it's always non-POC that's out there voting for the primary or voting for the locals or the state or whatever. And this is how they get their people in. So while we worried about Trump, it's like, even though the president may be a Democrat or Republican, our state may still be Democratic or Republican, or like we face with like different laws and stuff that's going against us. So this is what we have to honestly focus on. Like focus on like your local, and then you focus on every election, because every election counted. Even like with like the judicial election that's going to happen, because you have to vote these people in. The thing about it is that Trump is basically, he has the right to nominate any Republican he want to nominate. And the thing about the Republican seat,
no, I was fucking with you.
About the Republican seat is honestly, it's basically stating that they don't leave until they die or until they retire. So it's not like, oh, in 8 years we can fight or whatever. These people can stay in these seats for the longest. So he can put a young judge in that probably live to 100 and still have that seat. So it's like, if we get like losing the swing vote and get a Republican in there, basically at this point it's like we have everything that we try to introduce is going to be shot down by the Republican, because they got the majority vote. So this is it's a crazy system.
I think all this shit is a distraction.
It's a crazy system. This is what's really happening.
Off the top of your head, do you happen to know the statistics of the Senate or the House? Like who holds it? Like the Republicans or
the Republicans is pretty much running a lot of stuff now. They running a lot of stuff now. Like they are majority.
I'm not into politics. I'm not into the news. I'm into my mental health and being happy.
The thing about it is that all that is affected by, all of that will be affected by. I'm trying to tell you, all of that will be affected by. You have to make sure that the people that's voting on the things that you need, because it was once upon a time where just last year they was basically voting. Put the phone down,
man. Relax, brother.
Chill. I got hit my hoes. Right. Whole time. But no, it was last year. Basically, they tried to. It was a law that basically stated that the health insurance had to start funding mental health services. So they like, all these people got mental health problems. We're not going to fund this. So they tried to get rid of it. Like they tried to go against it. And the thing about it was that the people that truly needed mental health services was going to lose it. Like Obamacare has the clause to have people have mental service. So they was going to get rid of Obamacare. People was going to lose they therapy services, and that was going to affect people. So it's like we really have to be mindful about who we.
You know what else is going on?
I can't bring myself to be like, oh, let me.
But one day you're gonna have
turn the news on, and but I can't bring myself to wake up. Let me turn the news on and see what the fuck is going on. Like,
I mean, the news is all around you, brother. You got the internet.
No, I don't.
Like, you don't have to include yourself. You don't have to let it affect you.
It's good to know.
But you have to be aware about what's going on.
But see, like that's almost a negative mindset in a sense, because you've been brainwashed to believe I need to know what's going on, and you really don't.
You don't need to know the fake news that they're talking about, but you honestly need to know what's going on.
Everything is fake.
Because they do, listen,
everything's
they do manipulate the news to try to make it seem like something is this big or something is not that big or whatever, but you have to be educated enough to know the difference.
Right.
And that's the thing. People are not educated enough to know what's real.
But everything is fake news. At the end of the day, everything is opinionated. You like that?
Yes. Boom! Them
like
boom, bitch! Ain't opinionated. Majority real. Them seats in the house ain't opinionated. They're real.
You're not understanding.
Your president in the White House ain't.
They're reversing the affirmative action in college.
You're not understanding what I'm saying. What I'm saying is what I've said on this show 4, 5, 6 times already, is that we literally made all this shit up.
They're making it to where colleges don't have to accept a certain amount of black people.
We made college up.
I mean, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
But
we made everything up.
I understand where you're going with it.
And we just we accept it, and now we're so far into this hole, we can't dig ourselves out.
Right.
Of everything.
Okay.
Money.
Right.
College debt.
Yeah. I mean,
all of it.
So you just ignore it, or what?
No, I don't ignore everything. Like, I understand. Like, at the end of the day, there has to be an understanding to the point where you're like, all right, I still live in society, so I need to subscribe to a lot of the things that society subscribes to, but at the same time have the same awareness that most of these things that we put so much of our value into is fake.
You have to realize though, man. One reason I keep saying this, bro. One day you're gonna have kids, and the biggest thing I that touched me about this whole Republican thing, what I just said was the whole like they're making it to where colleges don't have to accept like people non-colored. You know what I'm saying? It used to be like a limit. It's like all right, we gotta. You know what I'm saying? We got to accept this many type of like, black people, Asians, blah, blah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But now they're making it to where, there's no requirement. So colleges can easily just turn down black people, which means there'll be less educated black people in America.
It's like while I understand.
We could build our own colleges as well, like Louis been preaching.
But don't subscribe to my rhetoric because
I feel like I agree with it.
Subscribe to my rhetoric.
I agree with it. I just feel like you was a little extreme at some point.
I was extreme, and I was speaking the truth.
But no, we should definitely invest in our own schools and all that. But because we starting to live in a society where they're slowly
segregation.
Yeah, exactly. We want complete segregation. I say we should invest in our communities and blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? But
I love white people.
Right.
We should.
How many white friends you got again? You want to do this again?
I love white people. I got others.
Nigga, if you know immediately without having to think about how many white friends you got, you're probably
because I know my friends. That's
you
the
might
thing.
be
I'm
Billy from Brentwood.
I have no friends. That's it.
All my niggas from Brentwood.
Any final thoughts on the Supreme Court?
Man, I feel like slowly poor people are getting forgotten about.
They've been getting forgotten about.
But poor people voted for the motherfucker that's in office. So
poor people are also ignorant. So
because
ignorance
what, that's
is
true.
An all-time high right now, guys.
That's true what you just said, and that's who really voted for him because his slogan banked on they banked on his slogan. Yeah. Oh, let's make America great again for these people, but he giving tax breaks
to rich people.
Like it's just
that's been the
people
history
are not
of America.
Educated enough to know that was fake news, and I need to.
America was built off of rich people turning poor people against each other.
But ultimately, at the end of the day, what they're saying, Bernie Sanders should be our fucking president. Right. Because at the end of the day, had we voted for Hillary, it wouldn't be nowhere near as bad as it is now. But she'd still be putting money in the pockets of the rich and saying fuck the poor.
But she would have. But what Hillary would have kept everything stagnant.
Yeah.
It would have been stagnant.
Hillary would have kept everything.
But she said she was about to make school free
until we was able to get somebody else in to knock her out. Like she wasn't gonna be no.
My man Bernie was for the people, free healthcare, free schools, all that shit.
I don't understand why Bernie in 2020. I didn't understand why Bernie didn't make it
because they pushed Hillary. This is the thing. The goal was had Bernie won the primaries, he would have been president. So it's like let's knock out Bernie, put Hillary in there because Hillary had no chance against Trump. Oh, America was not ready for a woman president. No matter they was not ready for a woman president, no matter if she was white or not. They weren't ready for a woman president. They got Barack Obama. They was pissed about that. But to have a woman telling these white redneck people what to do. To be the general in the army, they wasn't ready for that, so they had to knock Bernie out to get Hillary in there, so Trump can win again.
You should have to take an IQ test to vote. You should have to take an IQ test to vote.
No.
If you fucking stupid
that's your God-given right.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, because that's how they got black people from voting in the first place. They used to make them take extremely. I mean, they'll find ways. They'll find ways to manipulate that shit to where we can't answer that.
Because I give out IQ tests. I'm a therapist. I deliver IQ tests already. You take the wise look.
I'm a therapist. I'm a genius.
Listen, you got the WIS for child intelligence.
I'm the new Walt Disney.
I'm a pilot.
The thing about it is that some of the smartest people in the world have low IQs. IQ is just an intelligence test, but it doesn't determine.
I've never taken an IQ test.
It doesn't determine if you're smart or dumb. It's just.
I don't know. I'm just talking.
Who measures intelligence anyway?
Your IQ measures intelligence.
Because the shit is subjective. It's all fake, homie.
Somebody said in the comments, everything gets subjective.
But it is because you just
by saying that you're admitting what I just said, that everything is fake. Everything is subjective. And it's fragile as fuck.
Everybody don't test.
So just because they don't test well doesn't mean
testing is a skill. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that.
So who it
I'm saying that an IQ test is measuring intelligence, but being I'm saying as far as Everybody's not a good test taker. So if I give you this test to measure your intelligence, it does not mean that you're not smart or you dumb.
I was just saying
sense.
some shit.
That's why I had to clarify for our audience. I
just think them the motherfuckers that's in Kentucky right now. That ain't
them cousin fucking states.
See, I wouldn't say that.
I can agree.
I don't think the motherfuckers.
Them cousin fucking states. All the real ones.
If you have any phobias,
what
was that American if you're at all races, just stay the fuck on.
If you got 8 Toby Keith songs in your playlist,
to be effective, like they don't even come to the city.
Hey, speaking of
they got their own communities voting for shit that affects us.
Speaking of phobias, yo, I was in the comments of this show the other day, and I saw somebody say fat phobia. That's not a fucking thing. It's not. Ain't nobody fucking afraid of fat people.
I'm afraid of being fat.
I'm afraid of being fat.
I'm
Afraid
terrified.
of being fat.
Ain't nobody. Oh no!
Ain't nobody afraid of fat people.
It's like you're like that's
Move
just
right
skin.
along.
Like the only thing I'd be afraid of fat people is like what, buffets? Like I know it's not afraid of fat people.
Asians are afraid of fat people because they eat all their buffet food.
Final thought. Now, let's go right into the questions. Maxine Waters was filmed on video telling her artists to start a crowd and make a scene. Let's go to the video.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
When spotted somewhere from the Trump administration, Maxine Waters said, start a crowd and make a scene. She's been asked to resign as Congresswoman and receive death threats. What is your opinion on the topic? I'm going to start off with Mark.
All right, so I'm going to be real with y'all real quick. We had a couple of technical difficulties, so I've answered this question probably 3 times, so it's probably not going to be as enthusiastic this time. But I will let you know, man, it's like I just feel like, you know, we protest a lot. We just need goals. I'm gonna just sum it up, man. We need, like, we always come in upset. We're always upset about some, of course, shit's going wrong with black people all the time, you know, especially with Black Lives Matter and all that. It's like we always, like, we protest, we get upset, but we don't have a defined goal that we're trying to reach. We just get upset. That's why, like, we have these protests, and then a few months later, nothing happens, and then we just have another situation. Like, if we all came together and, like, made some goals to work towards, then we can make more progression. What Maxine Waters is doing, I get it, you know, I do understand, but it's like to come down to their level is not going to make us better than them, you know. I mean, but it's nothing wrong with questioning a congressman too. I mean, if you work in a restaurant, you see a dude, you might lose your job, but you see a dude, you know, works in Congress, you happen to recognize him, like ask him, like, yo, what's going on, man? I'm hungry in these streets. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. How about you, Mike?
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in keeping that energy. You know what I'm saying? So basically, what she asked us to do to the Trump administration is what white people were doing with us during Jim Crow. So you know, if a white person would have said that about the Obama administration, saying that, you know, we need to basically boycott them and cancel them, you know, anytime they're trying to do something in public, I wouldn't be here for it. So I'm not here for her when she said that shit. And that's
my stance on this, that I want to clarify that Maxine Waters is not saying go attack Trump or a Trump Republican or a Trump citizen or whatever, not a citizen, but of course a Trump supporter. She's basically saying for the people that is in the Trump administration that is causing all of this negative rhetoric in our country, basically approach them and lobby against them and protest them and act and call them out on what they're doing, you know, and I support that. You know, I feel like that's we can do that. If I see Trump, the first thing I'm gonna say is, okay, what the hell are you doing? What's going on? You know, like, where's the disconnect? You know, you said you was gonna do this, but you're doing this. Like,
why you
I will
black
call
people?
him out. I will make a scene in a sense.
Why
you know?
you don't like black people?
Right, like, call them out. It's okay, you know. So I feel like her wording in it, you know, but as people expect black people to be that way. Oh, like she's saying, go harass them. No, call the protest against the people that is setting these rules and causing this negative rhetoric. I'm all for it.
And when you protest them, like, what are you protesting them for? What do you want them to do after you question? You want them to just,
I mean, basically, if you like,
just open their mind to different ideology.
Go.
Okay, I fucks with it.
There we go.
Why you don't like black people? I just want to keep that up.
you gonna do the most.
I'm gonna do the most. Yeah, I want to do. Fuck it. They missed it. Why Trump don't like black people? Why y'all don't like black people? Why y'all don't like black people? What the fuck is your issue? All right.
fuck is wrong with Mark?
Fuck is wrong with everybody? I'm upset. 50,000 no, I'm playing. I don't even know the words to the song.
any final thoughts about this topic?
Man, I feel like, Wakanda forever, I'm fucking around.
Okay.
Moving
right along.
No.
We're going to go to the next topic.
Okay, let's go.
This Is Us, the show. The star responds to trolls. Lonnie Chavez has a strong message for those who mock his smile on social media. Let's cut to the video.
All the trolls that have been trolling in my comments, talking about my gap, trolling period. I could get my gap fixed. Like, braces can fix this, but, like, can you fix your heart, though? There are kids out here, like, killing themselves just because of y'all hating and trolling and doing just crazy stuff. It's stupid. Is it fun? No. It hurts people. People kill themselves, and you're the one who's making them do it. Fix your heart, though. For real. I'm happy that I can handle this. I'm not tripping, but there are kids out here. Like, if y'all kids are watching this, like, don't trip. Be who you want to be. Do what you want to do. Do you. Be you. Believe in yourself. Ow! Okay. All right, I'll see y'all later.
Okay. So, what is your opinion on the topic? We'll start off with Mike.
I'm all for young, black, educated kids, man. I fucking love it. I absolutely adore it. So, watching little homie talk about things that he goes through and using his platform for positivity is a beautiful thing. The video kind of reminds me of some shit that I do on my Instagram, even though people don't like when I go off on my tangents, but they love it when celebrities go off on their tangents.
You sound like you hate. Don't do that. Don't do that.
It is what it is.
He's a kid star. He got a gap in his teeth.
No,
Where your heart at?
I said I
Where your heart though, Mike?
I said I love.
Where your heart though?
I said I love the little nigga. That's what I said.
Yeah, man.
Love comes from the heart, my nigga.
I'm fucking with you, bro. The kid's very articulate, man. He's a good kid, man. I really like the message that he put out. I agree with Mike, man. It's very awesome to see him use his platform to lift people up, because a lot of people don't know how to handle internet trolling, because a lot of people take that shit personally. Like the kid said himself, he's like, I don't take that shit personally. That's what he said. Like, I don't really think much about it. No, but there's people out there who really do.
And to be that young and to have that understanding and that awareness of life is beautiful.
It's a hell of a perception.
Salute to that little dude, man.
He's wise beyond his years, But
he gives me hope for the younger generation, because they some weirdos.
They are weird.
You feel me?
I actually love it. I love it from a psychological standpoint, because a lot of kids his age, they do struggle with bullying and stuff like that. Me, in a sense, I wasn't one of them kids that struggled with bullying, but I was always the one to like stand up for people. To bullies.
You seem like you was a bully, Lewis. Were you ever a bully?
I wasn't. I was a nerd. I was a nerd, but I had a lot of siblings, so it wasn't no bullying me. But when I was I was the one to stand up for people, because I was always the bigger kid in the classroom anyway. And I was like 6 feet. And
that's what I'm saying. You threw them hands.
But I always stood up for kids who was getting bullied and stuff like that. So I feel like it was really good to see that.
That's good, man. It's good to see. Leon?
Yeah. So, any final thoughts on this topic?
Man, I feel like we pretty wrapped it up. We all like this young man and what he's doing, and we encourage him to keep it up. Hopefully he sees this and shares this, right? Tag him, find him, tag him, tell him we want to be famous. So,
we are famous.
We are famous in our own world.
Claim it. Okay, we're going to go on to the next topic. Damon Dash confronts Lee Daniels about owing him $2 million for investing into Lee Daniels' career. Although Lee has agreed to pay back the money, what do you think took so long for Lee Daniels to pay back Damon Dash's money? And is he as shady as Monique said he is? Let's go, Mark.
Lee Daniels, man, very talented dude. I don't really have much negative to say about him. I don't know him personally to make a judgment. I do know, I think he's worth well over like $30 million. I haven't looked it up, but I know he makes a lot of money, basically. So he could easily pay Dame Dash back. But $2 million is a lot of money, so I just feel like Lee Daniels is one of those friends that, you have them friends that you lend them money, and you have to kind of pull their arm a little bit, like, come on, bro. It's like, hey, bro, I need my money. It's like, all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause it's not like it's like, oh yeah, $5. It's $2 million. That's a lot of money. Like even now, I feel like he should give it back in installments. But since it's overdue, I mean, he should probably give it back with interest.
He got it.
He got it. I mean, I don't know. He probably don't got it. You don't know his personal life. How much? You don't know how much debt he's in.
He got all these hit shows on TV.
But just because he has these hit shows doesn't mean he's good with his money.
He got it. But even Damon Dash had also said like, just put me. You supposed to put me in Star or Empire and stuff. Couldn't even do that. He got the money. That's why he said he gonna pay it back.
So do you feel like
he got it?
I mean.
So why do you think it took so long? Now he said out his mouth, I'm paying him back.
Right.
I felt his pain. I'm paying him back. Lee Davis said that in the
interview. He said that.
Why do you think it took so long?
Why did it take so long? I mean, like $2 million is a lot of money if you don't add.
Why do you think it took so long? Why do you think it took so long?
I'm an actor, bro. I have nothing negative to say about Lee Daniels or his situation.
Boo! What I'm saying is like $2 million is a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you gotta ask for that shit back.
Give me my motherfucking money.
Give me my motherfucking money. All right.
To you, $2 million.
But me personally,
to us, let me not do that.
Me personally, I would pay it back as soon as I got it. But it's like some people, like I said, have to be.
You know what? I'm just gonna say. I'm gonna say what Mike wanted to say.
No, don't put words in my mouth.
They fucking.
What?
They fucking.
That's what Mike wanted.
That's what
Mike wanted to say.
I don't think he wanted.
I don't think Mike wanted to say that.
They fucking.
Wait, who?
You want to say?
Hold on, there's a lot of gay stuff going on in Hollywood. That's a hell of a rumor to throw out there like that. That's like a hell of a. That's an Aaron Rodgers.
I love my friends, but I'm not giving you $2 million for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
No, I just look at it in the sense it's like.
He gave it to him as an investment.
Let me not do that.
He invested.
That's the way I want to go about it. It's like, you know how investment goes. So if you come to me and be
I give you $2 million, you give me $3 million back.
No, listen, not even that.
That's
in a sense, see, it's all BS. I'm trying to understand Lee, but it's just not working in his favor. So I'm just gonna say it. Lee Daniels kept saying it was an investment. He said, "Oh, the movie that he invested in didn't do well." But your career took off and you start making all this money. You should have been like, okay, let me give your $2 million back. Right. Let me give you whatever back. So he's saying, well, there was an investment in the movie that he paid for. The first movie went well and he got his money back, but then the second movie didn't do well. But like, your career took off. You
gotta pay your man back.
Your career took off. Pay this man his money back.
I ain't playing no.
Pay these people. Let me stop. Pay these people what they worth. All these people. Everybody that you're working with, pay them what they worth.
They helped you, man.
Everybody's playing a part in that. If you give me $100 today, and whatever I use it for, if let's say you give me $100 and I pay the lottery and I don't win nothing, but then tomorrow I play lottery and I win, I'm gonna be like, oh, I didn't win with your $100. Nigga, you won. Give my money back.
Well, I'll punch you in the face.
You won. Give my money back. You got it. If I gave you something, pay it forward. Pay it back. Pay it forward and pay it back.
I like Lee Daniels and his work, but he lucky he didn't get punched.
See, my whole thing about it is that I know I'm
$2 million.
I'm very like Kaya. Like I love entertainment. My goal is to be in entertainment, but not off the strength of anybody else. If you're doing wrong, I'm gonna read you. That's just what it is. Lee Daniels was petty. It was a petty move. It was a bitch move. And that's just how I look at it.
I feel that.
If that's your friend, pay him back. He shouldn't have to confront you years later to get his money back. And then you ignoring his phone calls and running from him. And all he asking for is like, damn, give me an opportunity. You can't even do that.
Right.
But when Monique was saying that he was a shady queen, everybody was reading her. Oh no, she going against Lee Daniels and all this other stuff. But these people are who they are. They play people. And it's like, this is why black people can't get ahead anyway, because we keep going against our own people. Right.
We keep playing each other. That's just not a lie.
Like, I don't know, you might blow it tomorrow, you might blow it tomorrow, you might blow it tomorrow, we all might blow it tomorrow. It is what it is. I'm not gonna play y'all. I'm not gonna play. I'm just not that person. So even when I do get into the industry, I'm not doing all that. Listen, it's just what it is. I'm sorry.
We're putting this on tape. This is recorded, y'all. 5 years later.
Listen,
this nigga trying to play me. This nigga Louis trying to play me.
TT know me. He know I ain't that type of person. He know a lot of people that's that type of person, but I'm not. That's not me.
I feel it.
You don't know? Okay, keep that same energy like Mark just, one of them just said. Okay, any final thoughts on this? Any final thoughts?
Oh man, that boy definitely needs to give him his money back for sure.
Pay him his money.
Pay that man his money
with interest.
with interest.
And you got
for sure. He should definitely give him
and give him a roll.
How long ago was his loan? Like years wise.
It was before Precious.
It was before Precious. Oh, so okay, so he should definitely pay him like an extra meal. You know what I'm saying?
And he sued for like $25 million.
He sued for 20.
He's still suing.
I thought it was 2. Okay, damn.
No, he paid him $2 million.
But he's suing for $25 million. Okay, now Dame just He's not playing
Get
no
it
games.
all. Get it all.
He ain't playing.
Yep.
That boy ferocious.
But let's go to the final topic of the night. The patriarch of the Jackson family has passed away at 89. Joe Jackson is the father of the legendary Michael and Janet Jackson, along with 9 other kids. He was also known for his abusive punishment style. Do you think parents should be allowed to whoop their kids? Why or why not?
Yes. Because they need it. End of story. That's the end of the show right there. No, but for real though, I know everybody's all against the whole discipline and shit. I don't know the level of discipline Joe and Mike, but from what I heard, it was pretty severe. But I mean, discipline is required. Like, kids need to know that shit happens. Like, they need to learn consequences, basically. And like, even though like spanking might be extreme to some people, but sometimes I feel like it's effective. You know, that's it, man. It's effective because like, you know, like, I'm not gonna do that because if I do this wrong, I'm gonna get my ass whooped. And that's what life does to you. You know, that's just. I mean, I know it's like more physical as a kid and you getting spankings and shit, but it's like it just teaches you lessons. You know, it teaches you like. To fail yourself, you know, that life is gonna definitely kick your ass, and it's metaphoric more than anything, you know. And after a while, like most kids stop getting whooped after. Well, I can't speak for most kids. I stopped getting whooped after like probably 10 or 11. 1, because I was a good kid. 2, because you know I learned my lesson. It's like, all right, if I do this, mom's not gonna like it. She's gonna beat my ass, you know. And then as an adult, you know. I did this, life's gonna fuck me. And yeah, it's like, it's pretty much just all full circle, just learning, it's just a lesson. Like, what else are you gonna do? Timeouts? You know, corners, taking away the Xbox? I don't feel like any of that shit's effective. My bad, I'm just talking, but this is a real deep topic to me. But what do you think? What do you guys think?
I mean, I'm a believer in subconscious programming and conditioning. So when you beat, like I was whipped as a kid. But when you beat your kids, you're subconsciously telling them that violence is an option.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man.
You are. Because what you're showing as an example, as a parent, you're a leader. You're the leader of the pack, right? And for a child draws back from experiences that he's had with his parents on how to deal with future situations. So when you're a kid and you get beat over something as minor as, I don't know, spilling something on the carpet or some shit like that, and you get beat, later on in life, if you're in a situation in which you don't know how to verbally deal with it, or you don't know how to, like, you know, talk your way out of a situation or diplomatically get your way out of a situation, you resort to violence because that's how you were subconsciously conditioned as a child.
I don't know if that comes from getting beat by your parent. I mean, the word beat is
it's
strong.
a difference between disciplining your kids and beating your
yeah,
abusing your kids.
Yeah,
but like listen,
beat, because like you saying beating your kid.
I'm a firm believer. Just because we have done things a certain way for X amount of time doesn't mean we have to continue. It's okay to evolve. It's okay to change. It's okay to say that things that were accepted in the past are no longer accepted today.
Right.
Now, if the only way you know how to discipline your child is by being violent with your child, you're probably not a good parent.
9 times out of 10, people don't just automatically whoop their kid when something just happens.
Like,
they try to tell them not to do it. Just like I always use as an example when I was little. My parents used to be like, "Don't touch the stove" or something like that. No, I'm not gonna touch the stove. But I took my bad ass over there and touched that hot ass stove, and I got my ass whooped. But they told me over and over and over, "Stop! Don't touch that. It's hot. It's bad for you. It's bad for you." And I'm a firm believer in it. I don't. If a kid is disobedient, I'm not arguing with no motherfucking 4-year-old about not touching the stove. I'm gonna whoop your ass so you can know not to do it again. And guess what? I didn't touch that stove.
To use your own analogy against you, if you touch the stove, is the burn you get from that touch not punishment enough? Have you not learned your lesson? And maybe
no, because I probably would have did it again.
I mean, that's a specific.
You were a dumbass kid.
But,
no,
so
there
think
wasn't
about
that.
So okay, that example was, you know, kind of, you know, I feel you. I ain't gonna sit here and talk about TT's example, but all right. So different example. Let's say I keep drawing on the walls. I keep drawing on the wall, whatever, and my mom says, "Stop drawing on the wall, honey." All right, and I draw on the wall again. Stop drawing the wall, honey. Now draw on the wall again.
Right.
Stop drawing the wall, honey. I'm gonna get the belt. Next time you draw on the wall, I draw on the wall again. She gives me a spanking. Right. She's not beating me wildly. You know what I'm saying?
Now, knowing yourself. I want to eat that up really quick because I want you to really pay attention to what you just said. Now I have to chime in because I'm not there.
I don't know. I'm a firm believer in discipline. I'm gonna have kids. They're gonna be spankings.
Listen. Your mama just told you 1,000 times to stop writing on the wall without ever telling you what you should be doing. She never corrected you. Mm-hmm. She never told you what you should be doing.
That's real.
So it's like you write it on the wall because you don't know what else to write. This is what you know. You're only doing what you know, only doing what you stop.
That's real.
So as a parent, my job is to come in and say, you know what? Since you like to write, let me make it functional. Let me give you a piece of paper so you can write. Mm-hmm. The wall is not for writing, but you can write here. So now you just want to write.
So what?
You just want to write.
So what if?
Give you a canvas or something. You just want to write.
What if she gave me all this shit?
That's a whole different dynamic.
On the wall.
But that's a whole different
dynamic.
No,
I'm saying, like,
she has to
what
shape
do
that
I
behavior.
do?
She has to shape that behavior into getting you to write on a. She could put a canvas on the wall. It's just for you to get to stop writing on the wall. Eventually, it will work. You will eventually shift because
I'm
you just
nipping
want to
it in the
write.
bud in the beginning. Come here, I'm finna whoop you.
Like, you just want to write, but you have to. But
I like what you're saying. I
like that too. That is a good example.
Your kid don't know. This is the thing with parents. Parents get so frustrated because they can't keep doing something, but the thing about it is that you're not teaching your kid. You gotta teach your kid.
That goes back to what you were saying.
You are more intelligent than the kid. You've been here longer. You have already went through everything that this kid is going through. It's just the parents don't have the patience. And you have to have patience when you have kids.
And also, if you can't outsmart your kid, you probably shouldn't be a parent.
That's real. That's real.
Yeah.
Rewarded
I'm
behavior
still
is
gonna give them
repeated
spankings.
behavior with consequences.
Y'all, some kids just bad as hell.
That means, but that goes
I was
into,
one of those bad. I'm telling you.
But in my, for me, if I see
I
that,
had the tools.
If
they
I see that,
they taught me all that stuff. You said I was just bad as hell.
I'm not to submit you for assessment.
I ain't need no assessment.
I would have to. You will. If
I don't need that. I ain't need that. I have a whole bachelor's right now. I ain't need no assessment.
It may not be intelligence. It may be something else. That's the thing. It's so many areas that you have to assess. It's not.
I knew what I was doing.
You bad. If you was bad, is what people like to label it. You was bad because you didn't know. And somebody should have honestly talked. You probably learned it along the way.
There's other ways to parent.
It is
putting your hands on your kid.
It
you don't
is.
have to.
Like none of us
as a last resort because I don't have the patience like that long term.
Yeah.
But as a last resort,
I have nieces and nephews.
So do y'all think it's wrong to discipline the kids?
It's
no, you can
discipline is
discipline your
different.
kid, but you can discipline without being violent.
Right. It's different.
I'm saying, do you have a problem with people whipping their kids with a belt or
now,
like spanking them?
That's a problem.
Listen,
not
how
well,
you
yeah,
parent-
whoop. Not we call it whooping. we got whooping.
We got
so
whoopings.
if I got a whooping,
If
that was
you
a
hit me
whooping.
with any object, can or anything, that's a problem.
I think that.
That calls
When did that become a problem?
Because America's soft.
Just no. See, and we gotta stop. Oh, you fucking soft. It's awareness. You grow in awareness to understand this is violence. This is not fucking okay to put your hands on a
It's
child.
slave mentality that has been passed down through multi-generational transmissions. First and foremost, if you can just look at your parent when they whooping your brother, whoop. That is all trouble down.
You
this
realize
is why grandmas whoop you the most. Grandmas whoop for your mama because grandmas come from that older generation.
And you realize
Right.
the ancestors of white people, whipped our ancestors. It was a passed down learned behavior through our ancestry, and now white people do not whip their kids, and we whip our kids.
And they call the police on us for whooping our kids.
Multi-generational.
They do call the police on us for whooping our kids.
Yeah, you go to jail for it.
It's not a
They also got crazy kids. But I mean, I feel like it's
because they give their kids too much like room. It's a certain way it has to be done. My mama never whooped me. My mama never whooped me. But
that's why you are the way you are today.
No, but she didn't have to whip me though. Because growing up,
and that's why you have
I didn't do the things that y'all did. I didn't do the things y'all did growing up. Like my mama could tell me something and I will do it.
Needed whooping.
My mama would tell me something and I will do it. I was always the responsible kid. Like I wasn't going against my mama. My mama said do this. I knew she meant well. And I did
like 4 times. That was it.
I had my days where I did some things, but I wasn't just out there like I'm going against my mama. My mama said stay in the house. I'm gonna go outside. I stayed my ass in the house. Growing up, I had a cousin who got killed like that at 11 for sneaking out the house. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm never sneaking out the house. Mama say stay in the house. So it was just certain things that I wouldn't do. The thing about it is that I have to look at myself as a parent that I do have to work on my own patience. the thing about it is that I know how to deal with a kid because I'm 27, finna be 28 years old. Ain't no kid finna outsmart me. I've been here too long for you to think you finna outsmart me. So I know how to person deal with kids. The thing about it is that you have to teach them, and if a kid can't be taught, or if they don't listen, then they have to be assessed in certain areas.
And that's a problem for me because why you gotta assess a kid because they being bad?
Because you need to understand because it's basic. That's one part of it, but we are naturally equipped to be able to.
That would cause a lot of. I think that would cause a lot of problems.
But if it was a white kid that didn't listen, we'd be like, "Oh, he needs to be tested. What's something wrong with him?"
No, I don't look at it like that when I see white kids going out of trouble. I see it that their parents not whooping their ass, and that's what they need. They ass whooped. Most of the time, 9 out of 10, when you up in a restaurant or a store or something,
like Timmy, you need to
right, and you see that when you out, 9 times out of 10, you gonna see a white kid doing. That's because they haven't learned. I'm sure that Becky taught her sons and talked to him 16 times and told him, no, don't do that. I'm going to put you in timeout. Oh, let's go over here and color on this coloring book. And he's still doing the same. Up in the stores, knocking every fucking thing down. But do you think...
TT,
go ahead.
You are a behavior analyst. You create behavior. You create these therapists
too.
Well, I work with kids with autism, but that's different.
But no, it's not different. It's still behaviors. Your student...
yeah, that's true.
Your student acts a certain way, and then you come in and you say, no... Let me teach you the correct way of acting.
But guess what they do after I teach them?
It takes time. It's the same way if I try to teach you how to spell your name at 5. You're not going to learn on the first round. I have to continuously practice your name before you get it. It takes multiple trials.
That's true. I know.
It takes multiple trials. So I can tell you something, but I have to continuously teach you. That's why I said, if I give you a piece of paper and you write on the wall, maybe I should give you a canvas and you write on that. Or maybe I should put the paper on the wall and have you write over that.
Y'all make some valid points.
It's crazy as fuck. It's crazy as fuck because as a society, like, violence isn't the answer unless you're beating your kids.
Because I don't look at it as beating up. If you're actually beating your kids, then you need to be put in jail.
It's not okay to whoop your dog.
It's not okay to whoop
your partner. You can't whoop your partner. You whoop your partner, you going to jail.
It's violence, bro.
White people call it spanking. I spank him. We call it whooping. It's the same thing.
It's still violence.
It's a more aggressive. No matter what color it's on. The thing about it is that you can't go and whoop your partner. You're going to jail. You can't go and fight anybody else on the street. You're going to jail.
If we got an agreement not to call the police on each other, I be telling people in the don't listen. Don't call the police on me. I'm liable to knock your ass out.
If I fight somebody on the street right now, I'm going to jail.
If
I fight my partner, I'm going to jail. If I whip my dog, I'm going to jail. But if I whip my kid, it's okay. No.
You know what? I see your point.
I see that point too, but still,
But what's the difference? Why is it different between kid and adult? If I can't whip a grown adult,
because the kid hasn't developed common sense yet.
But
that's not like.
But it's okay to whip a kid. It's okay to whip a kid though. It's not okay to whip a kid.
It's okay to
it's like you guys are relying on the way you've been conditioned without.
I agree because I learned from some of my ass whoopings.
That's what I'm saying. Like I am open. Like I definitely agree with y'all saying. I've opened my mind. I'm very.
I feel like if a kid was never beat, and he's in a situation. So for instance, my stepdad never put his hands on me. Anytime I got in trouble with my stepdad, this motherfucker would lecture me for hours. So much so to like the second hour, I'd be like, nigga, just beat my ass. Like, why are you?
But did you learn from those times?
Yes, because I don't want to have no more conversations with this nigga. You know,
but you weren't learning from the lesson that he was teaching. You was just annoyed about him talking to you.
But it's just like, and that serves the point of you have to know your kid, know what works with your kid. So it's like that motherfucker knew. It's like I don't have to put my hands on Mike. If I sit Mike down and I talk to this nigga for 3 hours, by that third hour he gonna want to punch himself in the face.
Yeah, my stepdad, he did something. Well, my stepdad, he was a Marine, so he gave us spanking once, but because we were just wild in that time, but. Most of the time what he did, he made us do a lot of strenuous exercises in the backyard.
In which that's a very good way to discipline your kids.
Yeah, sometimes in the rain, in the mud.
So making your kids do manual labor, not
necessarily. Make motherfucker do push-ups.
Oh. No, like he had us bear crawling, like till we couldn't. He had us rolling. It was crazy.
And it reminds me of slavery.
Do you like the way this is? Like, I mean, because ultimately, at the end of the day, not only are you disciplining your child, but you also teaching them to be fit. You also teaching them to, you know what I'm saying?
It still has a negative effect.
That ain't no positive reinforcement. That's negative reinforcement.
I'd much rather
that ain't exercise. That's making him. That's like punishment when you punishing a kid to do stuff.
I feel like kids should definitely face punishment.
When you punishing a kid to do something, that causes a negative reaction with them. They don't. You gotta do something positive to make it. Yeah, they don't go together. I'm just talking based on like a.
What do you mean, like spanking's every kid differently?
But I just feel like once you get older, if violence was never an option for you, then violence will still not be an option.
I mean, I got beat.
I agree because I have a friend and she never had a fight in her life, and she still don't like fight. Because she would defend herself if she have to, but she don't involve herself with no type of violence. If something pop off, she like running away, and if stuff like that.
If your parent beats you every time something happened, when you get older, every time something happened, your mind is immediately gonna go to, I gotta be violent.
You gonna start beating
and you don't have to.
I don't believe that.
Not true. I don't think that's true because even though I got whooped, I don't think that every situation deserves somebody to get
people
beat.
mature, but you can't give everybody the credit for maturing and being smart.
I mean,
somebody said this is a great discussion.
To do with beating at that point. That just comes up with like being raised and your mind, your mental mind. Like because like people, I mean, like most parents don't beat their.
What are we talking about? Because I need to know the difference between the beating and the whooping and the spanking.
We're talking about the same thing.
You just say beating.
We talking about black household whoopings.
Most kids.
No, because some people got beat. Like my cousins got beat.
However you
I got whooped. My cousins got beat. They got like shirt taken off. Hold on the bed rail. I'm finna beat your back up until it bleed. My parents and stuff didn't do stuff like that.
My cousin got what with tennis racks, bats.
Yeah, see, I ain't have to deal with stuff like that.
Classic belt.
I got the belt. I had the occasional stitch a cord when I ran across the train track while the train was coming.
Oh, that was a sport.
You deserved that.
It was kind of a sport for us. We live by a train. We live by a railroad. We lived by a railroad track where it was up. And we had to climb up there, and we used to run across while the trains was coming. Not the metro trains, but the freight trains, because they were slower, and it was fun to us.
That way. My friend this train had went past.
Yeah, we did crazy shit like that.
This train had went past, and he went, and then the other train had came.
Yeah.
Did you see it? Oh, damn.
No, but that's how it happened, though. The freight train would be going so slow, and out of the blue, a metro train or something, they call them, you know what the metro is. It'll come the opposite way, and it'll.
Have you seen somebody?
I heard, like, people in my friend circle has got drug under a train before because of the air.
In Chicago, they're not afraid of death, obviously in Chicago.
Well, we was unsupervised for a long periodically. My friends used to call me Matilda, but go back to it.
Oh wow! But point is, man, I agree with what y'all saying, but I don't agree that kids getting spanked leads to them resorting to violence as an adult.
But you gotta understand conditioning is a real thing.
I understand. It shows.
Conditioning is a real thing.
I agree with y'all though, you know, because I do this for a living, so I know how the mind works. But I still just think I think that spankings work.
I think you think
personally
it's a temporary fix. Let me explain it.
That is true.
Because the thing about it is that you whooping me because I didn't do something, but you never told me what I should do. But you whooped me, so I'm gonna stop.
No, you ain't never got no whooping in this way. You didn't get whooping. I used to get whooped. They was like, you ain't gonna go your ass over there. You gonna sit down and you go listen to me and do what I said. That's a lesson within a whooping. Did you have a lesson within a whooping?
Yeah, it wasn't just no blind spanking. I knew exactly like in Spankfo. I knew not to do again. I knew why not to do it again.
I didn't get
as long as that dumb enough to do it again.
I didn't whip my mama. I got a lot of whoopings in my lifetime.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that a lot of parents. I'm not talking about individual people, but I'm saying a lot of parents don't whoop their kids. I mean, they don't. Saying they whoop their kids, but they don't explain to their kids what they're doing wrong, and this is why a lot of people continue to do it. Now, if you do something, and let's say the punishment is that we have a fight. If you do something, I never told you that. Oh, this affected me, or you should have did, or this is what you should have did. It's like we had this fight. I stopped. And then I continue on with my life, but it's like I haven't been trained to know what to do, so I'm gonna keep doing what I know how to do. You have to train the mind to do what's right. These kids are born without any knowledge, and it's up to the parents to put these kids in situations where they can learn. If I have a kid that's 5 and my kid is writing on the wall, I'm going to make it more functional. Now, if I never teach my kids to write on the wall, then guess what? They're going to be writing on the fucking wall. And I'm going to keep whooping my kid. They're going to keep growing up and writing on the wall and everything else.
He's going to learn after that first one.
He's never going to learn what to do. He's never going to learn what to do. So eventually, he's going to go back to writing on the wall. You have to.
Then you're going to take him to get tested. Because if this little motherfucker keep on writing on the wall.
I'm already ahead of the game because I already know right then and there. I know how to work
after
with
you
the I've changed so many kids' lives.
To disagree.
Yeah, I mean,
did you say can we disagree to
I
this?
think we agree
to disagree.
Final thoughts.
Because like I feel like what you have make valid points, but I feel like sometimes discipline is in order. Like I don't feel like it should be overdone. Like I said personally, I've only been spanked 4 times. That was because it was
the fact that you remember that it was 4 individual incidents.
Life learning experiences
shows how much of a traumatic.
I only say 4 because that's all I can recollect.
Stop lying on our show. We
honestly,
real facts.
They real facts. He said that those the ones that really meant something because he learned a lesson from those.
It's like, I fucked up and I kept fucking up, and she's like, "Look, if you fuck up again, I'm gonna give you a spanking." I was like, "Whatever." Did you
ever learn what to do? Did you ever learn how not to fuck up? Or you just stopped doing that?
She gave me That was the thing. It was like she only gave me spankings when she just like, I guess it's like you run out of hands, because like she'll tell me what to do and I would still be like, you know what, I guess the term would be she put fire under my ass. You know what I'm saying? Because she'll be like, all right, don't do this, do this. And I'll be like, okay. And why'd you do this? Like, I don't know. Don't do this, do this. Okay. Why'd you do it? I don't know. Okay. Look, you do this again, I'm gonna spank you. Don't do this, do this.
Final thoughts.
Why'd you do it? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
final thoughts, Mike?
I feel like it depends. I'm sorry. I just feel like it depends. It's very situational based, because like I don't feel like any kid should be overly getting his ass whooped. That shit's wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like if you do discipline your child in that form, it's like you have to be clear why you're doing it and give them constructive ways of not to do whatever they were doing. Because that's what my mom did. So she was like, look, I gave you a spanking because you wasn't listening. I told you to do this. You didn't do it. I told you this 5 times. She was like, she made it real clear. My mom was good at communicating with me. You know what I'm saying? So she would make it clear why she was spanking me. It wasn't like she just came out of nowhere. It was like, nigga, what? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, there's organized chaos to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, in me, I came out, like, I'm not a violent person at all, Like, I'll defend myself and shit, but I don't ever run towards violence. That's why I say, I don't feel like I was personally affected. Maybe some people are, I feel you on that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was like, I don't completely disagree, but I was just saying in my personal experience, I don't feel like that's always the occasion, like to where, he got beat, so he's just gonna be a violent kid. You know what I'm saying? It's like that doesn't. I feel like it's more than that. That doesn't define them being a violent kid. It's like
from your experience.
Yeah,
I can agree with that. I attest to that too.
Exactly. TT's not.
You can't have a fight
you don't
with
know
any individual.
Like I done seen TT fight.
You don't know me like that, Mark.
You can't have a fight. It's not legal to fight anybody. You can't fight. You can't whip your dog. You can't whip a person on the street. You can't whip your partner. You can't whip a kid. It's against the law. If you disagree with anything else, then I don't know what to tell you.
Conditioning is a real thing. Brainwashing is a real thing. Just because we have done things in the past don't mean that they're still acceptable to go on in the future. Big facts.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Opinionated. See you guys very soon.
Oh my God, I gotta go. She's got my son.